In Jami Attenberg's 2012 novel The Middlesteins, she explores the complexities of a large, somewhat dysfunctional family navigating the dissolution of a marriage. The story centers on the family matriarch, Edie, who, despite her life-threatening diabetes, indulges her obsession with food. Meanwhile, the patriarch Richard abandons her just before yet another of her many surgeries. As other family members take sides and try to determine who is to blame for the divorce, the novel delves into the delicate balance between self-care and the responsibilities we owe those closest to us, ultimately questioning how a family can stay united amid turmoil. Richard and Edie Middlestein are in their 60s and have been married for 30 years, living in the Chicago suburbs and raising 2 children. Richard works as a pharmacist, while Edie, once a successful lawyer with a commanding presence, is now a morbidly obese woman battling self-inflicted diabetes. Despite her declining health, she refuses to change her eating habits, and it's clear that, without drastic intervention, she is nearing the end of her life. Edie's obsession with food has dominated the family's dynamics for years, with her ever-increasing weight acting as a central theme in the novel. The story contrasts lush, sensory descriptions of her indulgent eating with the harsh realities of her health, which have forced her into early retirement from law and now threaten her future with a life-or-death surgery to prevent amputation. Unable to cope, Richard leaves Edie just before her surgery. The rest of the family is left grappling with his decision, questioning the cause of the breakdown in their parents' marriage. Was Richard heartless in abandoning his sick wife, or was Edie's refusal to care for herself the real source of the rupture? Their oldest daughter, Robin, a 31-year-old teacher, has distanced herself from her parents' toxic dynamic for years. Her mother's domineering presence and food obsession have deeply affected Robin, including a traumatic experience in high school that led to her avoidance of intimacy and an ongoing struggle with alcoholism. But when Richard leaves Edie, Robin decides it's time to confront the situation and take action. Furious with her father, Robin decides to cut him out of her life nearly entirely, choosing instead to move in with her mother and offer her support. This impulsive decision leads to an unexpected positive turn. Robin begins a relationship with her childhood friend and neighbor, Daniel. A sensitive, nerdy man, Daniel becomes the emotional rock Robin needs. In contrast, her younger brother Benny, the calm, easygoing pothead of the family, prefers to avoid confrontation and simply wants to smooth over the emotional chaos of their parents' divorce. Benny is happily married to Rochelle, who initially takes Edie's side and refuses to let Richard see his grandchildren as a way to punish him for abandoning Edie. However, Rochelle and Benny's own lives are complicated. Their twin children are growing up, and Rochelle is busy planning their B'nai Mitzvah ceremonies. Rochelle, proactive and well-meaning, devises a plan to help Edie regain some semblance of health. The plan includes Edie walking the track with Robin and Rochelle's daughter, Emily, to get some exercise, seeing a team of experts to tackle her weight and food addiction, and attempting to overhaul the family's relationship with food. However, Rochelle's intense focus on healthy eating begins to irritate Benny, especially as the vegetable-heavy diet causes him to lose his hair due to nutritional imbalances. Emily also rebels against her mother's anti-junk food rules, sneaking out of her window and breaking her arm in the process. Meanwhile, Edie and Richard appear to be the only ones moving forward after the divorce. Richard forms a relationship with a British woman who, unlike Edie, brings out a deeper side of him. While his children disapprove, the reader sees a man capable of genuine love with the right partner. Edie begins seeing Kenneth, the owner of a struggling Chinese restaurant she helped save with her legal expertise. The day of the B'nai Mitzvah arrives, and despite the tension, the family allows Richard to attend and see his grandchildren on their special day. However, that evening, Kenneth finds Edie dead in her kitchen. At the funeral, Richard is still treated as a distant figure, not quite part of the family. Yet the novel concludes on a hopeful note as Richard connects with his granddaughter Emily, forming a new bond amidst the lingering grief. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.